Hey everybody, Dane Reich here, coming back with another deck profile. This time gonna be for Goku Black Reboot Expert deck. I think it's like Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black, the beginning of the Return to Despair. What a name. The card received a new promo here, you can see it right on top. And I want to be able to discuss what the deck can do now. Honestly, it is a lot better than it was before. It was like near unplayable before, whereas now it's like almost like tiered. Right? Like, I think it's like a tier 2-5 deck or something. Like, someone could totally bring this to an event and compete. Right now, there's not a ton of skill negation in yellow, right? Obviously, Universe 7 is going to be a problem for the time being. But aside from that, right, it's pretty difficult to remove these cards. Indestructible is, if once you play a 7 cost, then blue has a hard time removing it. Obviously, there are answers out there. There's Tapion, there's Trunks Emotional Blow. The green can play the big Trunks 8 drop. There are answers, but still harder than it was before, and now it's easier to reset your chain, whereas before it was very, very difficult. So let's go ahead and talk about each piece. Goku Black says once per turn, when the Zamasu or Goku Black battle card attacks, you get to draw one card. Activate main once per turn. If you have 2 or more energy, you can take one card out of your life and place it in your energy in active mode. At the end of your turn, you place one of your energy in the drop area. Awaken if you have I think, 3 or less life? 4 or less life, or a Z battle card Zamasu in play. Blue with an energy cost of 3. You can awaken, draw 2, and flip over. On the backside, you are auto once per turn when one of your Goku Black or Zamasu cards, including itself, attacks. Draw 1 card. Then, activate main, same exact thing, add a life from your... add a life to your energy, and then you'll go ahead and KO an energy at the end of the turn. Place and drop. So, some basic sequencing things. You want to make sure that you attack with a battle card, usually the Z battle card, swing, draw a card, awaken, draw 2, and then you'll swing and draw 1, right? Because you'll get the leader's front side auto when a battle card attacks, the leader's back side auto when you attack again for draw 2. Let's talk about the new promo. This card is one of the strongest promos the game has ever made. It's like right next to that cell with how strong it is. So, Super Saiyan Rose, Goku Black, Plan Execution. I'm just going to TLDR his effect because it is very long. But the first one is very simple. Pay a blue. If you're a blue Goku Black Z leader, you can draw 1 card, play him, and then you can crit up to 2 life to your drop area. And then at the end of the turn, replace those. That's really just to make sure that if you want to get the double strike effect on your Z leader, that you can do so even if you're at 4 life without putting yourself in danger of actually being at 2 life. Occasionally comes up because this is a pay 1 20k body to draw a card. Also a Goku Black name. More importantly, activate main limit 1. If you don't have an indestructible Zamasu already in play, you can place him from your hand to your Z energy. Search your deck for a 6 or 7 cost Zamasu that we'll get to in a moment. Add it to your hand, so you're going hand neutral while building a Z energy. And then you also reduce the energy cost on the Z deck Zamasu by a blue. So, you get to pull him down to a 2 cost, and you go hand neutral while building a Z energy without going to combat. Wow, that's good. This card is really, really strong. Not to mention that it's one of the few cards that, like, grabs whichever card you want out of your deck, right? It's not top 5 for a blue Zamasu or something. It's just go grab a 6 or 7 cost Zamasu. So, amazing, amazing card. We are on a 3-3 split of those new Zamasu cards. So we have 3 7-drop Fuse Zamasu striving for perfect order, and 3 6-drop Fuse Zamasu. The power of the gods is complete. What a bunch of names. Striving for perfect order is a cool name, though. So, TLDR. This fuses over the Z battle card and a Goku Black. It's a blocker, 20k indestructible. When an energy, both of them have the same auto that when an energy in the drop is placed in the drop area, you switch them to active mode once per turn. So that's really sweet, right? Your leader's gonna place one in the drop. They'll always get to attack and then restand to be their blocker. He also says that the turn that he evolves into a 7, you get an energy back at the end of the turn. So that's very nice to just gain value. Zamasu here, this one's the really crazy one. So 7, 0, 5, 25k double strike indestructible blocker. When he attacks or when a Goku Black hits your Z energy, draw a card, and place one of your opponent's battle cards at the bottom of their deck. That basically means that when he lives, or when he comes down, you swing with him, and you get to auto draw a card, bottom deck a card, and then your leader triggers draw another card. Unbelievably powerful. That also means that defensively, if you just combo away any Goku Black, we'll use this one for example, combo it away, place it in your Z energy, it hits the Z energy, you draw a card and bottom deck one of their cards on their turn. So you get basically a free combo, you get to bottom deck stuff all the time, ridiculously powerful. Maintain these is the main goal. Your opponent's main goal is going to be to remove these. We play a pretty small tragedy package. We have the tools to do it, and thankfully the decks just run itself, and sometimes tragedy just wins the matchup, right? If their only answer to a 7-drop is going to be something like that, right? Against like blue, they'll have Tapion Unison still, but like yellow is going to have a lot harder time if tragedy is out, getting a skill negation and a removal. Same with green. Basically impossible because Majin Buu is one of their answers. They'd have to go like they'd have to use a Hunt of the Demon God to negate its skills and then use a low cost card to remove it. Very, very strong. Doesn't come up a lot, but when it does, it usually wins the game. Also, just like 35 dual indestructible is pretty strong. Some utility Goku Blacks here. We've got 2 counter Goku Blacks. It's searchable. It's like the names. When you counter, you get to bottom deck something ignoring barrier, much like the ape. It's a 20 critical, and then when it's played, you restand a 7 cost, right? So you swing with the 7, 25 double strike. If they attempt to like petrification it, or they want to go like release from evil, you get to go counter, goes like it through, and immediately gets value. We're gonna get that double strike, force another one. It's very, very good. 2 Lofty Aspirations. This is the worst card in the deck. I don't think you should play it. I'm playing it for flavor. Sometimes it just really helps close out games because your opponent might pass with like 2 up, and then you just go free play this Goku Black, or you just evolve out of your energy and sack those last 2 energy that they maybe left up, and you can just win. Countdown just free plays at 5 energy, draws a card. It's a 10k, and then it's a Goku Black body for free. And then finally, 2 Mortals Begone. Activate Battle Speed to draw a card, bottom deck something. 3 Z energy is hard, but not impossible. At worst, it's just one of those things where like it's still a name. It kind of meets all the requirements that you would want out of a battle trick for you. Just something to think about and have handy, ready to go. For Gawasu, 1-drop. This is the only like true 1-drop of the deck. So it's very, very simple. Search top 6 for a blue god, 6 or less. And then when he hits the Z energy, you can actually replace him from your Z energy with a Goku Black from your drop area. So you can also use it to trigger this, as well as then keeping your Z leader effect that we'll get to. You can just make sure that you always, always, always have a Goku Black over in your Z energy and can trigger it at any point. Just some good blue cards. We're on 2 Oob, 2 Gohan, and Android 17 turning the tide. Once you've established this Zamasu, the deck frequently doesn't have a ton to do, and so you want to just make sure that you're getting good plays out of it, right? Obviously, a huge battle trick has the additional utility of the pay a blue for some of your worst matchups, like red. And then into green, you can get rid of, like, the 4-drop green Goku. Oob, have to keep your opponent on check, right? If they don't, immediately you go, oh, thanks for charging a second Z energy. Oob. Double strike, draw, remove a bunch of cards. Super strong card. And then finally, turning the tide. You're not a ramp deck per se, but you do play 1 energy ahead of where you would be. And then, of course, frequently something like Tide with this, you just get to draw 2 cards back, have a blocker for their turn. You can just reset the tempo of the game very, very well using Tide. So it's just like a one of out. Your opponent kind of has to respect it. It's still a good card. It doesn't always win the game, but it can. We have 4 Android 17 Floodgates. You turbo yourself to the Z leader in this deck, and so frequently this is online on like turn 3, alongside the fact that you have a blocker, and you're still a blue deck, so you have base defense. Very, very good stuff. Just simple. Our secret rares, we have the 1 of Boo, because we can only play 1 Boo. Alongside this, again, when your opponent's staring down those cards, it feels insurmountable. And then we are playing Baby Hachiyak. I think this is just the best secret rare for the deck, just because you are still a little weak to aggro, especially things like red, and having access to Hachiyak really gives you a lot of options. If you're playing against something like green, it's possible that they want to give you no outs to certain cards, and this just buys you a turn, right? When a lot of your turns are immediately produce another Goku Black, you can just give yourself great outs. For our super combos, we are on 2 Goku Blacks and 2 Zenos. So obviously Zeno, the immediate thought is, okay, well, Zeno grabs the cards out of your energy, and that's true, right? Your leader's going to ramp cards out of your life, so you might just hit a secret rare, or you might hit, you know, the missing piece that you need. Whatever it is, Zeno can grab it. Some other stuff that you can do is that your Z leader's ramp is actually out of your Z energy, and so if you use the super combo, you can draw a card. If this is out, draw another card, place it in the Z energy, ramp it into your energy, and then you can use Zeno to grab back another super combo. I don't think I have to explain that looping super combos is good, but it is. So in this deck, technically you can use up to 6 super combos if you have the right setup. So it's very, very good. I think that Zeno being searchable off of Gawasu is very nice, right? Just fixes energy and does so much for you. Very, very good stuff. The extra card lineup is 2 Absolute Release Ball, 3 Ultra Instinct, and 4 D-Magic. Absolute Release Ball, blue just needs a better counterplay. It's just like the only one, and we want to be able to push through certain things. And then into red, a lot of times, right, you need to keep the small stuff off the board, so that way this card can be protected. We are playing 3 UIs just because Double Strike is really, really easy to produce in this deck. This card comes down very quickly. Our Z leader can get Double Strike. We have Oobs for Double Strike. And then it is a huge amount of defense that we might not otherwise have, right? Like, people frequently are going to try to match your Goku super combo to get out, so that way they don't, you know, the math is better against this guy's effect. And you just go, okay, 30 instead of 25 and lose a card. You just get out for free. Very, very strong card. Very happy with it at 3. And then 4 Dimension Magic. It's Dimension Magic. I don't have a whole lot more for you than that. Restand energy defensively, turns out, kind of okay. So, those are the pieces. And then we'll go into our Z deck. We have just 1 Z leader today. Z Awaken for a blue. If you have 4 or less life, and you have 2 Z energy, you can just do it. Frequently, you can do this on turn 3, like I said, while establishing that Goku Black. Again, just like the initial Awaken, you have an important sequence job to do. Make sure that you swing with a battle card into Awaken into swing with the leader. Same with this, make sure you swing with a battle card, and then you can Z Awaken, right? You'll get a draw off of that. Z Awaken, draw another card. Got to make sure you're getting the double draws whenever possible. Activate main, you place a Goku Black from your Z energy into your energy area. Very, very strong. And then activate battle. If you have 2 or less life and a Goku Black in your Z energy, you can actually get 5k and double strike for the battle. This is not only on your turn. You can use that plus 5k on your opponent's turn as well to get out of some attacks or make the math a little uglier. But it just works out really well. It gives you an access to another double striker. Anytime you can have a leader-based double strike, that's good stuff. Especially right when you have a counter in the deck. If you're just like at 6 energy and you're like, all right, I'm just gonna leader, double strike, UI, game. And then our Zamasu package, we're just playing 2 of Zamasu and Goku Black, serving Justice and serving Justice. The cards are fine. The Goku Black is, well, I guess we'll just go over each one individually. Zamasu is a 15k. Indestructible when your leader is a Goku Black, and then, or a blue Goku Black, I should specify. And then he gains blocker during that time. At the end of the turn, if an energy is placed in the drop area, you'll switch him to active mode. Goku Black underneath, he also Z-stacks him, sorry. Goku Black underneath says if Zamasu is on top of him, he gains 15k, which does make you a lot less vulnerable to red, right? This then becomes a 30k, your 6-drop becomes a 35k, and your 7-drop becomes a 40k. So suddenly they do have to use 2 red effects to remove it, and just that second effect can be the big difference maker for getting your effect off or getting to do whatever. Very important. When he attacks, he does combo with a god from drop area, so that helps fill your Z energy for your Z Awaken, and obviously can trigger different effects. It's just a blue to play him from underneath this Zamasu. Usually that's how you'll do it, and you'll pass on turn 2 or 3 with a 6-drop or 7-drop in play. Good cards. 1 Beerus, 1 Vegito, 1 Cell, 1 Android 21, and 1 Z Extra. Just good generic blue cards. They're not terribly super strong, but right, Android 21 offers some weird outs that otherwise wouldn't, right? Bottom decking as well as then Z stacking can be non-KO type removal and things. Not to mention the fact that she can remove cards twice on one effect, so she like immediately answers the 21 Seeker rare. Other than that, it's just pretty strong. The answer to Barrier really is just going to be Beerus here. If you're looking for a wide board, you're looking for Cell. And if you're just looking for random game ending, you're looking for Vegito, right? Obviously, you can also 21 over Vegito. I think that's really about it. The deck is pretty good. I don't think it's quite... it might be capable of a top 16 in the right run. But you do still kind of need to attempt to dodge U7 and Red. Those are going to be your 2 hard matchups. Gohanks is going to have a pretty easy time with you, as will U7. But the blue decks are going to struggle. The green decks are going to have kind of a hard time, depending on how much hand control they have and how many Deborahs you draw into. I think the deck is super fine. I don't have a sideboard for it, so I apologize in that sense, but we're just doing something simple today. I hope you have a good day and enjoy punishing the mortals.